Yo, what is up, Sex Beast Crazy Rabbit here, and today we're going to be doing top 5 COD Zombies death spots. And if you really don't know exactly what I mean by that, I basically mean a spot where you're more likely to go down if you happen to be in this area at a certain time, or if you're just running through this area, you might want to use more caution than you normally would with the rest of the map. So in this video, this is all my opinion. I swear I just picked out my favorite death spots, and I put them in this video, so let's go to get the shit started. Coming in at number 5 is going to be Origins, and it's going to be the Crazy Place. Now, the reason this is number 5 is sort of because you can avoid this. You know, really just don't go to the Crazy Place, or if you're going to go there, make sure you don't have any zombies. But if you happen to be there during the middle of a round, you might want to proceed with extra caution, especially if the rocks are falling down. Now, you can't keep the rocks from falling down. There's actually 2 ways to do this. 1, don't pick up any of the stones, don't build any of the stabs, the rocks will never fall down. 2, do the entire Easter egg. If you complete the entire Easter egg without actually sending Maxis up to meet Samantha, you'll actually stop the rocks from falling down. Now say you're too cool for that, you don't want to do that, that's all cool, man. You do you, I'll do me, we'll all do each other. But the rocks are going to fall down every 15 seconds, so you might want to proceed with caution in this area because they will come down and they will block your path and they will try to kill you. Now here's a really good spot that if you just happen to be in this area when the round starts, or if you're in here with the middle of a round, you might want to actually head over to the ice staff and do this little pattern that I'm doing right here. This is actually a really good spot to cycle if you're actually stuck in the Crazy Place. Just run around right here and you'll be fine. Especially if you have like a staff or a regular Mark II, you will be fine. Just don't kill them all with one go. You know, you kind of want to pick them off one by one, because if you kill them all in one go, they're just going to all spawn back in and flood you, and that's really not that good. You kind of want them to spawn in one at a time, so just pick them off every now and then. Do not kill them all as a whole, and this is actually a pretty easy spot to survive in if you have to in the Crazy Place. So let's go ahead and get a number 4. Alright, and coming in number 4 is going to be Riese, and we're going to be in the Thompson room. And the reason this is number 4 is similar to the Crazy Place is because you really can kind of avoid it as long as you're smart and sort of have map awareness. If you have that, you'll be fine, but the area is right here. So right when you actually run into the Thompson room, sometimes every now and then, even if you're cycling in here, you'll have your front face towards the zombies and you'll be moving backwards. And now every now and then, if you're not really paying much attention to where exactly you are on the map, you might scoot too far over and you might actually get caught by this little beam right here. This beam has actually caught me a couple times and has caused me to go down, so you really want to be careful, especially if you're cycling in this room. Say you have 1 or 2 people. If you're just cycling in here solo, I would really not advise that, but say you have a friend and he's cycling somewhere else and you're actually in this room, a really good way to just never get caught by this is just do not run backwards right here. Just wait till you actually pass it to turn around and shoot the zombies, because if you do that, you'll be fine. You won't have to worry about it. But say you don't do that, you actually might run the risk of backing up into this little area. And this is a very dangerous spot, and usually once you get caught right there, you spend like 1 or 2 seconds to turn around and actually look at what caught you, and by the time you actually do that, the zombies have already caught up to you. So this is a very dangerous spot. Just don't go backwards when you're walking through this area. You know, face forward, and as soon as you pass that little pole, turn around and you'll be fine. So let's go ahead and get on number 3. Alright, and coming in number 3 is going to be Mob of the Dead, and this is going to be the area that actually leads up to the top of the roof. It's going to be this little staircase room area. This is actually a very dangerous room, only if it's the middle of a round. If it's at the beginning of the round or the middle of the round, you might probably be fine, but if it's the middle of the round, I really would not recommend running through this area. Just wait till whatever you have to do, wait till the end of the round to get it done, because there's so many spawn points around these stairs, and plus you really just can't see, so you might have a zombie on the other side of the stairs behind that wall that you just can't see. He might be making his way down to you and you just won't be able to see him in time, and by the time you actually see him, he hits you, you try to back up, and the zombie behind you gets you. So really, if you're on a high round, just don't try to go to the roof during the middle of the round, unless you have like the Blundergat and you feel like you could do it, because a lot of the times the zombie's going to block your path from the stairs. Even if you're going up or down, a zombie's going to get in your way, he's going to block your path, you're going to have to stop to shoot him, and then by the time you do that, another zombie would have probably spawned in up top blocking your path again, or the guys behind you would have caught up to you. So this is a very dangerous spot, and unlike number 5 and number 4, this really just can't be avoided. Say you actually have to get to the roof, say you actually need something on the roof, and you have to actually run to this area to get to the roof, which is actually a pivotal point in the map. So really just be cautious when you're going through here. Don't really go through in the middle of the round, and if you do, make sure you at least have a Blundergat or your strongest weapon out, so that way if a zombie does get in your way, you can easily take care of him. So let's go ahead and get on number 2. Alright, and taking the number 2 spot is going to be Kino to Toten, and we're going to be heading over here into the dressing room. Now the dressing room does have one crucial point, and the only reason is because of this one spawn point up here. This spawn point makes this room a living nightmare, especially if you're trying to run through it. So my advice, never stop in this room. If you're training around the whole map, if you're training around just half of the map, never stop in this room. Always go straight through it to the other side, mainly because of this zombie that spawns in right here. He's going to drop down, and especially if you're running in through the MP40 room, usually a lot of the times you like to stop right here and turn around and shoot. And if you do that, that zombie will spawn in, drop down from the roof, and he'll just cut you off. And by the time he hits you once or twice, you'll actually notice him, turn around and shoot him, and then the zombies would have probably caught up to you, or another one would have spawned. So my advice to you is just do not stop in this room, always run completely through it, or if you are going to stop, make sure you're at least running the opposite way from the stage to the dressing room, because if you're running that way, the spot isn't really that dangerous, but if you're running from the P40 room to the dressing room, it's going to be kind of dangerous because that zombie will spawn there, and you really just can't see if he spawns or not, so you really won't know until you actually turn that corner, and once you turn that corner, he's either going to be right up in you, or he's not even going to spawn, or he'll be in the middle of spawning. So really, again, just always run straight through this, never stop to shoot zombies, just always go straight through. You can always shoot them when you actually come out onto the stage, get them all on a nice big line. But just do not stop in that dressing room unless you're feeling adventurous and just feel like 420 YOLO swag. So let's go ahead and get a number 1. Alright, and we're going to be back with Origins taking the number 1 spot. And this is actually a different spot from the Crazy Place, but in my opinion, this is actually more dangerous than the Crazy Place. So this spot's going to be this long little pathway that leads you actually from Generator 2 and 3 to Pack-a-Punch. Now the reason this is so dangerous is because the zombies spawn on both sides of this area, and at one point in this area it's only big enough for one person to run through, aka if you try to run past the zombie's not going to let you run through and he's going to stop you. So this is a very dangerous spot. Now the only real way you can avoid this spot is to sort of keep the zombies behind you. So hypothetically, if you're running this strategy that I'm running right now, you really don't want to go too fast. You want to take your time and you want to make sure the zombies are right behind you, because by the time you actually fall down and get near Generator 2, the zombies are all going to be right up next to you. They'll all have spawned in, so you'll be fine. As long as you don't try to run past the zombies, because if you get so far away from the zombies, they'll start spawning in again, and that's not something you want. You don't want the zombies to start spawning in, so you kind of want to take it nice and slow, make sure the zombies are sort of behind you, and just run straight through this area. Don't stop in it because a zombie might spawn on you, and that's not really something you want. So this area is very dangerous, especially if like you're in the middle of a round and say you have 3 or 4 players and they're all out doing their own thing, killing zombies. Zombies are going to be constantly spawning in, especially if you're trying to run from Generator 2 to Pack-a-Punch. You really might want to be careful, because if zombies are constantly spawning in, they might actually spawn in ahead of you, and they might actually just block off your path. And once they block off your path, you're pretty much screwed, because there's no way you can get out from behind you, especially if one zombie spawns in, he blocks your path, and then another one actually might spawn in. I've gone down in this area more than all the other places on this list, so I'm very curious to know what are some of the worst death spots for you guys, and did you guys agree with this list? Did you not? So thank you guys for watching. If you guys could, please leave a like and subscribe if you're ready. Geese geese.